let us hold fast to our faith without wavering. There are so many scriptures that we can read, but we have to go through the statement so that when we read the scriptures, we can match it up with what we are saying. The face covering, is it because if you don't put it on, you won't be able to sell, you won't be able to buy, or you are afraid that you are going to infect someone, or your neighbor will be infected, your coworker will be infected, or you are going to infect? If we believe, if we trust God, if we know we are under the blood and we are covered under the blood, what are we going to do? We read Psalm 91, Psalm 1, Psalm 23, all of those passages of Scripture. And the Scriptures, the Lord Jesus Christ said, have faith in God. If we have faith in God, are we going to be covering our noses? Are we going to be doing everything? And some will say, oh, it's the government's order, it's conscience, all of these examples. Remember, if at this point, Christians, believers, cannot suffer, cannot endure persecution, cannot go through all these things that are happening, which are just introductions, what are we going to do when the real thing happens? Some will say, well, this thing, it's not actually, I won't be here. We'll be gone. We'll be raptured. The rapture, yes. Let's not say that we are not going to be. We are going to be raptured. That is 100% true truth. But when? When are we going to be raptured? Some say, oh, when these things happen, when the Antichrist comes, we are not going to be here. How do you know? When the Antichrist comes, we are not going to be here. What happened to the Israelites? Didn't they go through persecutions? When they were in Egypt, the Antichrist is going to come. But the point is that when he comes, will we be ready? If right now, when the Antichrist is not here, we're already capitulating, we're already giving in, we're already doing exactly what we are being told to do. What will happen when the Antichrist comes? Oh, I'm going to be raptured before. Do we know what the Lord Jesus Christ said? Let us read it. Maybe it will come to light. If the Lord Jesus Christ says, because what people say is that, we are going to be raptured before the Antichrist comes and all of that. And the question is that, what happens if we have to go through? Because in chapter 24, Matthew 24, there is also some in Matthew 13, and then we go to Luke also 21. We have, and Mark also has it there. But the point is that we should listen to what the Lord Jesus Christ says, because we all find it, we have different views. When the Antichrist comes, I will not be here. Haven't we gone through pandemic? What happens? What happened to all of us? We were all asked to stay at home. Did Christ come to take us? And this was a mini test. Or should we say tribulation? The tribulation is not, we are not going to be here because we'll be gone. Or because we followed that movie, Left Behind, we are going to be surprised. So, this is what the Lord Jesus Christ says. And by the way, when we have this, we read these scriptures, we should always point out that yes, during the time of the apostles, they had, we should say, persecutions. They were scattered. They went through the whole world. But some of the events that happened at that time happened based upon what the Lord Jesus Christ said. But then the rest of the information of the events have not yet happened, because we should know, and we know that the Lord Jesus Christ didn't come and rapture the apostles. They all did what? They went through all the persecutions, right? If the apostles went through all of those, even Saul was among those persecuting them until Christ revealed himself to him and gave him that missionary work to go and evangelize for him. So, Matthew 24, we'll try to not read all of the verses, because starting from, okay, I'll read a verse first and then I'll read from verse 13 first. It says, "But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved." That's number 1, verse 13 of Matthew 24. And then we go to 29 and following. Or do you want to do the 22? Okay, let's do 21. "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor shall be." So the great tribulation, it hasn't come yet. 22. "And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved." Why? "But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." Right? What Christ is saying here, first, verse 13 says, "But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved." That gives us clear indication that if you cannot go through persecutions, if you cannot go through inconveniences, if you cannot go through any of these things that is happening around the world now, and you are ready to escape, be careful. 21 says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the whole world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." So that helps us to know that it's coming. 22 says, "And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved," which means that this thing is going to be very, 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 very severe. And if it says great tribulation, it means that it's happening around the whole world. And Christ is saying that no one will be saved. But for the sake of the elect, who are the elect? Christians, believers. We are the elect. And if it says they shall be shortened, the devil's agenda is to kill all, destroy all. But by God's mercy and grace, he has given us an indication that, oh, I'm going to save those who endure, who are able to withstand, who are able to be like Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, which we haven't even read yet, Daniel. Those who remain faithful, those who do not compromise, those who do not give in, those who do not capitulate. And then we jump to verse 29. Immediately, Matthew 24:29, immediately after the tribulation of those days. So the tribulation will happen first. after the tribulation, what's going to happen? That's what we are learning here.